the American people stand firm in the faith which has inspired this nation from the beginning. We believe that all men have a right to equal justice under law and equal opportunity to share in the common good. We believe that all men have the right to freedom of thought and expression. We believe that all men are created equal because they are created in the image of God. From this faith, we will not be moved.
Hello, God bless America, and welcome to the Freedom of Thought podcast. I am your host, Paladino Joey, or Joey Awajan. Freedom of Thought is available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Audible, Stitcher, and Double Twist. Thank you always and forever for downloading and listening to this show. Greatly appreciated. Apologize for the long delay since the last episode. Circumstances beyond my control were preventing me from recording this podcast and keeping up with things. Wanted to talk right after the Super Bowl, pretty much, with all the propaganda and all the BS that was shoved down our throats, not only with the halftime show, but I mean, we're talking just about every single commercial. I'm not going to go heavy into detail, commercial by commercial, but pretty much the same message that was constantly shoved down our throats the entire game. Good game in terms of I wanted Tampa Bay to win. I was happy that Tom Brady did win. The backlash from those that are, quote-unquote, the woke parts, the woke sports commentators, woke this, woke that. It's just continuously stuff that is ruining everything. People that are talking about how it's racist that Tom Brady won. Tom Brady's automatically a racist because he had a Make America Great Again hat in his locker like circa 2015, 2016. And he basically said, Donald Trump is my friend. I support my friends. Tom Brady also did not wear a mask going in, did not wear a mask during the celebration, did not wear a mask the entire game. Good for him. Good for him because he knows it's BS. Tom Brady knows it's BS. He's the healthiest man in the world. How many 43-year-old quarterbacks are still at the top of their game, basically, still able to hurl the ball down the field to Rob Gronkowski, whoever else? It's incredible. So it's kind of like merging sports and politics once again, which is, well, this is where we can do it. You can have, if you still talk sports, you can talk more politics on this show. It's obviously more politically leaning, but we can get into many different things. That's why it's called Freedom of Thought. And today we're being free of thought. We're going to have freedom of thought. We're going to be able to think and have our own conversation without getting our heads bit off until, well, you never know, until the show gets deplatformed. But not sure the show's big enough to get noticed by those evil people just yet. We'll see what happens at the end of the day. But no, I mean, good for Tom Brady to not wear the mask the entire time. Again, the healthiest man in the world. And, oh, well, you're not hearing about COVID-19 with Tom Brady, are you? You're not hearing about it. If you're healthy and you take care of yourself, what the hell? What are you so scared of? You have people at work, like I keep talking about, they can't even touch a bleeping door handle. You get near the door at any time. They don't want you getting near them when they're trying to open the door with their feet, their elbow. It's just like, grow up. It's exhausting. It's tiring. Joe Biden opening up the Super Bowl basically with his wife. It's just starting the propaganda. Obviously, it never ends. Luckily, we didn't see anything bad with the national anthem this time around, thankfully. Or if there was, people kneeling and making a scene, we didn't see it. At least not that I know of. So that's the good part. At least we didn't see it. At least we didn't see that part of it anyway. Of course, you saw a lot of players standing with masks on, and you saw some with masks off. Rob Gronkowski, Tom Brady, to name at least two major ones right there. Two guys that helped the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win the Super Bowl. And again, I'm very happy they did for many reasons. I was a New England Patriots fan during that era. I still like the Patriots, but, I'm a Brady fan, and I'm a Rob Gronkowski fan, because those two guys kind of work together in tandem, and they do a great job. But how they represent the anti-woke. They represent not living in fear. That's what I appreciated very much. So at least there was a little counter to all this evil propaganda. And there's good news how Joe Biden was telling everybody about masks and how we all got to basically live in fear, and we all got to recognize this false number of 400,000+ deaths of COVID-19. But of course, zero flu deaths the entire year. There's just no flu deaths. Flu disappeared, but COVID-19 is 400,000 deaths. Right. Yeah. And of course, we can talk about forever about the gunshot wounds, the car accidents, other issues. And unfortunately, locally here in town, Karl Anthony Towns is one of the people spreading the fear to everybody. Karl Anthony Towns, Timberwolves star. Of course, Timberwolves and star player are becoming more and more of a fiction than a reality. Because, well, when you're like, 6-19, 6-20, that's your record, wins and losses. I don't know if there's such thing as a star player, especially when he's not on the court about 75% of the time the last year and a half. So, but he wants to keep spreading the fear and spreading the fear. My condolences, and I mean sincere condolences to him and his family. His mother did pass away. She had an underlying issue that contributed, and maybe that was the real cause of death for all we know. But, of course, if there's an underlying issue, then you are at risk. And Karl Anthony Towns talked about that. But the way he's kind of basically spreading the fear around about things, it doesn't help either. I have nothing against Karl Anthony Towns. I don't hate him or anything. I don't think his politics are in the right place. And I don't think it's a good idea to be spreading fear basically around. And I just think it just adds more and more division. And Joe Biden did his best to do that, to open up the Super Bowl, and luckily a lot of fans were booing. I could hear it. In attendance with myself here was my wife, of course. She wasn't really watching. She was getting ready for bed. She gets up early in the morning, and she was doing other things. She's not really a sports fan. But then, of course, Paul Tuniverse Caniff, that's his nickname that he likes to use on occasion. We were watching the whole thing, and we're just blown away by the endless propaganda. For some reason, he couldn't hear the booing. I don't know if he can. Sometimes his hearing isn't the best. He likes to have the volume way up. I had it reasonably down, so my wife didn't get mad. Of course, again, it wasn't that late yet, but again, at the beginning, for some reason, I'm paranoid about pissing neighbors off in this apartment because the sound insulation is so pathetic. But that's the only bad thing about this place. Nice location, sound insulation not good. But again, Joe Biden, long story longer, was basically going on about the mask, about the deaths. I guess I did already mention that. And about uniting the country. We all need to be united now. And that was the propaganda, the entire Super Bowl. The entire thing. It was propaganda. It was all about telling a story of, we're all, especially that Jeep commercial with Bruce Springsteen. That was the worst of all. The worst of all. And it's just like, who ever heard of a cowboy with those freaking nasty earrings in anyway? I'm tired of looking at that kind of stuff. Guys with the earrings, they think they're so cool and all that. But I don't know, maybe I shouldn't judge that too much because I'm sure some good conservatives out there wear them. But just the way, just his look. He didn't even look like a cowboy. It was the stupidest thing ever. Oh, right here in the very middle of the country in Kansas, this small little town, and this old church, which Bruce Springsteen has probably never been in a church other than just to pretend he went to a church. He just pretended he was there just to be some kind of figurehead or something. But right in the middle of the country, and we're all standing on the same ground. And and it's like all about uniting the country now because of the horrible Trump is gone. Now we have this wonderful opportunity to reunite the country with Joe Biden, with socialism, with insane leftist policies. You're going to unite the country with that? I don't think so. Not while I'm still alive, and not while people like me still have a voice, still have breath in our lungs and blood in our hearts. There's just no way. I just don't believe that. I don't think there's any type of unity with socialism, psychotic socialism, and endless lies that are constantly being spread throughout this country, through the media and through other publications, even in the workplace. People just spreading lies, keeping it going. How can you support Trump when it's obvious, when it's plain as day, it's been proven fact that he colluded with Russia. He colluded with an outside country. When there was no proof, absolutely zero proof whatsoever. I mean, when the Attorney General at the time, who was a Democrat, hardcore Democrat, trying to get Trump, came up with nothing, and he admitted he came up with nothing because there was nothing. But it's proven fact. Do your fact checking. Trump's guilty. Yet Joe Biden, it's like plain as day. Joe Biden, Clinton, Obama has been colluding with countries throughout their entire presidency. China, China especially, Arab countries with Obama, Iran, China. Obviously, China just kind of rules the Democrat Party in a big way because the Democrat Party is going to bend over backwards for China. 100% of the time. That'll never change. Joe Biden's literally a Chi-Com agent, according to everybody. It's plain as day. And obviously all the lies and collusion with Ukraine, with Joe Biden and his son Hunter. Endless lies, endless corruption. And that just gets swept under the rug. No one seems to give a damn about that. Obviously, I won't say nobody. Conservative shows and all that do. But then when it gets to the big boys, the NBCs, the CNNs, the CBSs, the ABCs, heck, even Fox News now, swept under the rug. And heck, Fox News seemed to be the worst of all this year, where they're like, "Oh no, we're woke. We're not right wingers. We're not Trump supporters. We're woke. We're woke. We're woke just like you guys." And then they ended up getting the lowest ratings because, well, some conservatives, they're still hanging on. I mean, conservatives, they're still hanging on to Fox News for a while there, for at least some bastion of fairness, some bastion of maybe leaning the other direction besides just hardcore leftist would be nice. But then Fox News just turns to the left as well. So it's kind of like, fine, hell with you guys then. So they wind up with the least because obviously the CNN listeners of the world that worship that station like it's God Almighty, MSNBC, C-SPAN, they would never watch Fox because, oh, that's right-leaning. That's why we call it Fox, like they're trying to say the F word, fucks, basically. Pardon my French. I'm not trying to say the F word, but they write it out that way. Or Fox or something, F-A-U-X or something. That's basically what they turn it into. And it's an absolute joke. There's not even a lot of these hard left people, there isn't a moral bone in their body. There really isn't. Like tea partiers, they call us tea baggers. And that is about as insulting and immoral a term as you can call a fellow person. Just somebody you don't even know that didn't say anything rude to you, but they call you, oh yeah, you're just another tea bagger. Where teabagging is a very inappropriate thing to call somebody. It's, seriously. You don't even know me and you're going to call me that? Wow. It's pretty sick. We didn't have any type of major argument or anything, but they just want to come out with the inappropriate statement, and it's got to be something, X-rated. It's pretty disgusting, to say the least. The propaganda, though, literally throughout the show is the Super Bowl, the commercials. It was every single commercial was literally telling a story about we're uniting now. We have a chance at unity. We can do this together. We can all work together. And then, oh, by the way, Coca-Cola. And we can do this together. We can be all united now. We're all one. We're standing on the same ground. Cheap. That was like the commercial. That's how the commercials were. Constantly pushing propaganda. And then, oh, by the way, this is who we are. It's Jeep. It's Coke. It's Nike. It's McDonald's, whatever the heck it was. It was unbelievable. I've never seen such unbelievable propaganda. And it's been going on for years. We didn't notice it as much. It was more subtle. Now it's up in your face, like plain as day. Even the biggest idiot can see it. Of course, what they call us. So this is our combat is libtards. That's the most inappropriate word ever. You can't use the word tard for anything. Because once you say that, you're a bigot. You're a hater. At the end of the day, you should have your show turned off, your Twitter account deleted permanently and banned, Facebook banned. You should be fired from your job for ever saying the word tard because, oh my God, what if you're pointing at somebody and calling them that? That would be the worst thing of all time. Well, libtard. It would take a libtard point of view to see things the way they do and to think that there is no propaganda whatsoever in those ads. Yes, there was propaganda. 1 billion% propaganda in those ads. As for the halftime show, holy mother Moses. It looked like the Mothman was coming down out of the sky. Have you ever heard of the Mothman? Google it. It is a demon with a demon, like a shadow figure demon with red eyes and wings. Demonic. That's what it looked like. And then all the figures behind the singer were like waving around. They looked like demons. They literally looked like demons. Then they look like robots, but they still look like demons because robots don't have like weird robes like that. They looked like demons. They looked like skeletons with red eyes like demons. Demons have red eyes. At least that's what they say. When you see a shadow figure and it's got the red eyes, like the Mothman. Some absolutely creepy, disgusting, scary stuff to open up the halftime show. And it went on for a while. And then eventually they took that off, and they were just, they were all men of color dancing around, and like in the background in a music video, they're playing their part in the skit or whatever the heck it is. But and the whole thing seemed like propaganda about people of color, 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 and it's okay. But the attitude behind it is wrong. It's very much wrong. It's one thing to be inclusive. It's another to be, kind of going way back the other direction. I mean, do we have to go 1,000% the other way? Can't we be somewhere in the middle? If you want to be quote unquote inclusive, you want to tell everybody about equal and equality and inclusive and everything. There's nothing equal or inclusive about it. It was all one. That's pretty supremacist in my eyes. And who the hell said that Vince Lombardi was black? The actor was black. Vince Lombardi was Italian, right? But it was plain as day he was black. He looked like James Earl Jones. Again, I have nothing against people of color. But Vince Lombardi was not black. He wasn't. What if somebody came out and said that it's Magic Johnson and it was an Asian person or a Latino? That would be wrong too. It's wrong. Like, get it right. It was a black person. The actor was black. If he wasn't black, I don't know. Maybe I'm nuts. The actor was black. He 100% chance he was black. Again, there's nothing wrong with a black person, but it just seemed like that was the whole message. The entire show, the entire game, the entire ads was about that. It was the strangest thing I've ever seen. And again, I have nothing against people of color whatsoever. I just figure, get it right. Like, it didn't make any sense. Another way of, like, say, that's really inappropriate, that people have been doing forever, is how you have a blonde, blue-eyed Jesus. Jesus was not blonde and blue-eyed. He was Hebrew. He was born into a Hebrew family, obviously from the seed of God, into Mary and Joseph. Hebrew, that means brown hair and brown eyes. That does not mean blonde hair, blue eyes. Either way, that's propagandist as well, where maybe people might say white supremacist. I don't know. Probably wasn't meant that way, but it was wrong. Jesus is not blonde hair and blue eyes. Just like Vince Lombardi, who's not Jesus, but maybe Packer fans might see him that way, was not black. He was Italian. Just like Kamala Harris. Kamala. Yeah, she may be of color. She's darker. She's Indian, though. She's not black either. I guess you could say she's kind of like Asian, basically. It's technically Asia, but not like Asian, like, Oriental, that type of Asian. It's India Asian. So that type of thing. Whatever it is, whatever it was, for goodness sakes. And as, of course, when it comes to this impeachment of a citizen of the United States, who, I wish he was still the president. I still consider him. I still consider Donald Trump, Mr. 45, still the president. But the whole thing is an absolute joke. And, of course, the local media is talking about how Trump's lawyers were, that there was so much evidence against him that Trump's lawyers are basically calling an audible because, oh, my God, that opening statement was so good. We had to change our strategy right away. Oh, my God, they have us beat. No, they're just operatives. They're just deep state operatives. That's all they are. That's the sad part, and that's what hurt Donald Trump in his presidency, and that's why this BS was allowed to happen. Otherwise, is it 3D chess, and Trump's allowing all this to happen right now so he could come back and nail them real good later because now everything's been exposed? I want to believe that's exactly what's going on. I'm not 100% confident that is what's going on. Unfortunately, like every good president, like the Ronald Reagans and all that, John F. Kennedy, who actually meant well, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask what you can do for your country. There's always bad people around them because there just is. Welcome to the government. Welcome to the United States government. Ever since JFK and even before, into the FDRs and such, there's always going to be that evil corruption where it's really all about the almighty dollar and not about the American people, unfortunately. Republican or Democrat at the end of the day. And unfortunately, there were just too many slimy deep state lawyers surrounding Donald Trump throughout his entire presidency, and it hurt him in a big way. That's why he was unable to do a lot of things. No matter what he tried to do, it seemed like, for the American people, they would get in the way. He did get a lot done, but then now with the stroke of the pen, the almighty Joe Biden, who doesn't know what he's signing, which is, look that one up. It's there. You can hear him mumbling that to himself as he's signing. I don't know what I'm signing. Is with a stroke of a pen destroying just about everything Trump did in 4 years. He's done it in just a few weeks, maybe 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks. It's devastating. It brings tears to my eyes as a true patriot of this country, but there's still prophecies floating around that, not that necessarily that Trump will be back in office right now, but maybe in 4 years, and also about that there will be a change. There will be a change to the Republican Party, that it will become the Patriot Party. That's what they've been talking about. Trump will help start that new party, and that this deep state GOP, neocon group will be exposed for what they are and kind of left for dead. They'll be just left hanging, and they'll be finished, where the true conservative lovers of this country, Christian conservative lovers of this country, will unite in the Patriot Party and move forward with President Trump or somebody similar to him in 2024. Because if Joe Biden and Kamala Harris get reelected, oh Lord. But there's got to be something. There's got to be a shakeup. We got to get rid of these rhino Republicans that are not helping anybody. The Mitch McConnells. Lindsey Graham's all over the place. I don't know what to think about Lindsey Graham. 1 minute he's real good, the next minute he's just another he's just another deep state slime ball, and then he's really good again, and then he's a deep state slime ball. I don't know. He's probably a deep state slime ball, but lately he's been better again. I don't get it. He didn't really help when he was needed earlier. For a while there he was good. Right after McCain died, McConnell and Lindsey Graham were outstanding with a Canadian accent, sorry. They were great, but then the last year of Trump's presidency, they were pretty much stabbing him in the back at every turn. Great. And then now, well, McConnell's still stabbing him in the back. He needs to be voted the F out. He needs to be voted out. He needs to go. There's a reason why we're facing some type of a majority of Democrats in every way. President, vice president, of course, but Senate and House, and oh my God, it's disgusting. It's frightening. It's where we stand today, but luckily there are enough of us patriots, conservative Christians out there. There are enough of us that something can be done if we continue to let our voices be heard, and we continue to, with a stroke of a pen, vote for the right people. The stroke of a pen, vote for the right people. That's what you got to do. And vote these rhinos out. It's time for them to go. It's time for them to be primaried. And it's time for us to have true conservatives, true lovers of this country, not warmongers, not a deep state leftist, basically, is what they truly are. Like the Bushes, the Bushes, the Romneys. They're all garbage. They're flat out garbage. McConnell. Tom DeLay was no good, really, at the end of the day, either, was he? Ted Cruz, I want to believe he's on the right side. The most reliable person for me who has been consistently on the right page the whole time is Rand Paul. Rand Paul, absolutely, just like his father Ron, his Uncle Ron Paul. I'm a big believer in the Pauls, absolutely. Big supporter. Ron Paul, big libertarian, even though he's considered Republican, but like libertarian, that kind of thing. I don't like everything libertarians stand for, but Rand Paul is like a true conservative. At the end of the day, he's not like a full libertarian where abortion's okay and gay marriage is okay. No, I say no to both of those things. At the end of the day, they're very much on the wrong path, I truly believe. Wrong path. If you have a Christian bone in your body, you're not really going to support that kind of stuff. It's one thing to be concerned about women's rights and their livelihood should there be an emergency. If there's an absolute emergency, like life-threatening, then it's a gray area. But anything beyond that, I don't know, man. I don't know. I can't go there. I can't support abortion. I can't. And of course, gay marriage. I just don't understand that. I don't understand the point of view of people that support that. Treat them like human beings. God still loves them. They're God's children. But to deify them, deify their behavior, and say they should be married, I don't know. And they should raise kids. Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not a bigot. I'm not asking for anybody to get hung. I'm just saying I disagree with their point of view. That's all. That is all. I kind of went all over the place, but I guess I kind of always do. That's kind of how this show is. Welcome to the Freedom of Thought, where that's what we do. We think and we talk. We put our thoughts to words at the end of the day. God bless all of you. Hope everything hope everything goes well. Just keep up the good fight. Don't wear a mask unless you're absolutely forced to. But generally speaking, speak out. Those of you that are brave enough to literally not wear a mask, even at work and places where they force you to, God bless you. I wish we could all just step forward one day and do that. I think that'd be the best thing. At the end of the day, finally put an end to this nonsense and prove that it is nonsense. Because the states where they don't wear a mask and they don't have huge lockdowns, they have the same percentage of cases in places that do have every draconian lockdown there is, like Florida versus Cal. It's the same thing. And of course, again, when the flu magically disappears and there's COVID cases instead, it's got to tell you something. COVID is the flu is COVID. People die of the flu. People get sick, unfortunately. Maybe wearing a mask helps for that. I don't know. But I don't think it really does. I don't think it really does because, again, look at California, the percentage, this and that, compared to Florida. It's all the same. Go Florida. And their governor just might be DeSantis. That just might be the next great Republican candidate moving forward into 2024, 2028, whatever year it is. Hopefully we don't have to worry about a Biden presidency for 8 years or Kamala Harris presidency for 8 to 12 bleeping years. That'd be disgusting. But when I say 2028, maybe you get Trump in 24, where he gets 4 more years, and then that's it, of course. And then you go to DeSantis in 2028. Wouldn't that be cool? He's a good man. He's a good man with strong views, boy. Love him. Love him very much. Strong views in the right direction. Look him up, the governor of Florida. I was almost going to wrap the show up, but we better get to the Facebook page. There is some stuff going on there. Facebook.com/Freedom of Thought 1776. Facebook.com/Freedom of Thought 1776. You get to see Donald Trump Jr. there. I clicked on that, or saved that. It said Rand Paul went savage mode today. And he definitely proved that this impeachment is a complete joke. See, like I was saying, Rand Paul, do check that out right there. No comments there. I know I heard from Mark Carlson a bit, and maybe some others as well. Did Bernie's inauguration outfit epitomize white privilege? A San Francisco teacher thinks so. It's just crazy. What? Because he's wearing shoes, pants, a jacket, and he has a mask on. White privilege, huh? I'm not sure. I'm not sure I understand that one. I think that's a Columbia jacket. That's all that is. I mean, that's what the logo looks like from here, that Columbia logo, kind of like diamond shape. I'm not sure. That's really strange. That San Francisco teacher. Welcome to San Francisco. Here's the pig of pigs here. Minneapolis, Minnesota. Oh, my. Representative Ilhan Omar, says Republican base is becoming the Looney Tunes. It's becoming the Looney Tunes. Yeah, you should listen to yourself. You should listen to yourself, Ilhan Omar, and some of the garbage you say. In fact, all the garbage you say. You have anything good to say to anybody? Or do you just want to talk trash? That's basically all she's ever done. Basically, like anti-Israel, anti-Christian. Why this scumbag has any place in any office is beyond me. Other than it's just pure corruption leading into pure evil. That's pretty much what this is. She is a snake. She is the face of evil when it comes to politics and just about anything else. Mark Carlson says, how to not be a representative of your country. Yeah, there's nothing about her that represents the United States of America. What? Diversity? Okay. Oh, diversity. I guess that represents America. And then what's the other part of it that she represents? Freedom of religion. Yeah, that's great. Diversity. I just don't understand. And then Joe Morin says she's very scared. She is a false, illegal congresswoman or man of this country. In our country, yep, congresswoman, but Congress, whatever, in our country. Yep, she's false, all right. She cheated multiple times to get in office. And, of course, you know, I don't have a whole lot of faith in any Democrat being elected, being honest anymore, being honestly elected anymore. I mean, maybe Clinton was elected honestly. I'm not so sure. But then you get this Mike Lindell video. I posted it on the Facebook page. Guess what? Guess what took over here? False information. The same information was checked in another post by independent fact checkers. Ooh, it's false information. Based on what? Because it's not Democrat leaning? MikeLindell.com, absolute proof. Haven't really had time to watch the whole thing, but there is a lot to it. Freedom of thought, I was saying pure insanity. This is from a Twitter account. Paul Kenneth actually shared it, and then I kind of stole it from him, basically. A dude at multimedia guy with a Apple logo. Apple. Oh, goody. Says, done watching. There is absolutely no reason. NFL, racist, slavery, Brady White, Trump, death toll, 475K. Trump had nothing to do with those deaths. Donald Trump had nothing to do with those deaths, just like the moron that will remain nameless, in fact, multiple morons, that believe that why would Donald Trump ever win in the state where George Floyd died? George Floyd and Donald Trump are not related. Where are we coming up with this crazy talk? How is the NFL racist in slavery? When, they donated $250 million to end racism, so to speak, which is basically $250 given to, groups that hate us, that hate anybody that isn't black, basically, or considered a person of color. Who's the bigger minority, by the way? Blacks? Asians? Or how about somebody from Lebanon? Who's a bigger minority? I think the person from Lebanon is a bigger minority, and you're not hearing Lebanese people screaming in the streets. And I'm not, we're not exactly treated that great all the time either. A lot of times people just look the other way, like, oh, he's from the Middle East. Ugh, ugly, go away. Let's just say it's happened, and it's a joke, and it's usually the people that would lean left, actually. In fact, it always is. 99% of the time, it's people that would lean left that would act that way. It's an absolute joke. What a world we live in. Trump death toll 475. Why? Because he closed the borders to China, and all that. But he was a racist before. He was a racist when he was doing that. But then, do your job, Donald. Do your job, like Chad Hartman. Hey, Chad, locally, of course, local radio. Do your job. Report honestly and unbiased. Why don't you report with an unbiased point of view once in a while? Why don't you have a conversation that makes sense rather than just ranting about your political beliefs? But then again, look at me, right? Do your job, Chad. Do your job, Chad. You got a big mouth, and you're not helping anybody. Oh, the other one. Mavericks owner, Mark Cuban. What a dick. What a dick. The Mavericks became the first NBA team to cease playing the national anthem before games. Apparently, he started up again, but that drew the ire of myself and many others. So far on this page, at least 4 people. Andrew Nash, locally here. Jason Marks, Mark Carlson, and Joe Moran. Very frustrated with that one. Mike Lindell was canceled by 18 companies. 18 companies. Dollar General, Shop HQ. So, write these down if you want to, or you could come to the page and see it as well if you don't want to avoid these companies because they're turning their back on Mike Lindell because he has a point of view that might not share theirs, I guess. Mattress Firm, Kohl's, Kroger, BJ's, Wayfair, BB&B, whatever that means, TSC, HEB, Affirm, Finger Hut. Wow, Finger Hut. We used to, that's interesting. We used to cut grass. I think they were the owners. I think so. Maybe they're part owners. Oh, their name was Finger Hut, and they owned Finger Hut, so I guess it's them. Yeah, everybody's a dang Democrat. Kinney Drugs, Colony Brands, Blue Stream, Coborn's. Wow. Chewy? No, that's Chevy. I just called it Chewy because I'm silly. Chevy.com. No, that is Chewy. Chewy.com. And JCPenney. JCP. That's JCPenney. Well, I guess if you want to turn your back on those companies, go right ahead. Cancel them. If they want to cancel Mike Lindell and you don't agree with their point of view, which you don't have to, that's for damn sure, cancel them. Go ahead and cancel those companies. I believe I got a similar response right here. Richard Galtney, sorry about that. Good. Now I know where not to shop. Thank you, and you're welcome. That's the idea, right? Those are the companies to just avoid. Well, yep. That's unbelievable, isn't it? And, and then I posted this today. Just gross at Target in St. Louis Park. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, book after book after book there on the stand. Oh, and we got the whole world to see it. Buy 2, get 1 free. Why don't you buy 2 of them and get the third one and then just burn them and put it on YouTube, right? You'd probably get banned and arrested for that because that's just evil. That's hate speech. Barack Obama, Joe Biden, something. I don't know what it's saying. Multiple Biden books, and then Kamala's Way. Ooh, Kamala's Way. I can't wait to hear what the little corrupt Californian did throughout her career. Oh, I just can't wait to hear how great she is and how cultured she is and how intelligent she is about everything. With that said, look into the contact details, facebook.com/freedom of thought 1776, at freedom of thou, because since it doesn't fit, 76. That's the Twitter account. Parler, well, actually, Parler, I don't know what's going on with that one, but if it comes back, at freedom of thought 1776, paladinolive at yahoo.com. Paladinolive at yahoo.com is the email where you could send an audio submission or even like a question or something, but you might as well put questions and comments on Facebook. You can even private message me as well. I think there's some in there from Mark Carlson. I'll get to that in a second. Maybe even someone else as well. Real quick, though, to get to the audio submission, all you got to do is, or to send an audio submission to the show, is open any smart device on the planet, open the free voice recording application that will be there, hit record, treat it like a phone call, talk for about 5-ish minutes, however long, but 5-ish minutes preferably, something like that. If it's shorter, it's shorter. If it's longer, it's longer, but as long as it's on topic, that's great. Simply then you just hit stop, save it, and save it. You don't even have to save it if you don't want to, but yeah, you send it to paladinolive at yahoo.com, share it or send it however you do it, paladinolive at yahoo.com. All this information will be in the show description. Please write a positive rating on iTunes, Stitcher, or Audible. Those are the 3 applications where you can actually put a review on there that I know about at this point. The others, I'm not sure if there's a way to do it yet, but I know Apple Podcasts, Audible, and Stitcher, you are able to do that. And if you could, that's so helpful to the show. Thank you very much. Or just put the star rating, and if you don't want to say anything, that's up to you as well. With that said, that's pretty much it for now, for the most part. Oh, yep, I want to see if there's a comment from Mark Carlson. I know there's something in here. I think so. Nope, these are mostly just interactions. I swear there was something, though. I swear there was a comment or a message. Inbox. There we go. That might help. Maybe the inbox. Because, yes, you can like private message the show itself from the page. You can always do that. And now it's showing nothing. It was saying 10. So I'm not sure what's happening here. I'll have to go in a different direction from maybe the computer to the smart device itself and see what happens there. Funny how everybody wants to contact you, like your regular life. Where the heck is it? I know there were. That is strange. I'm sure he sent something. I guess they're gone now. I hope nothing weird happened, but maybe I already received it and then they, I don't know. So strange. This must be a share. Okay, it says freedom of thought is still possible, but not freedom of speech. That's probably what happened. It's on this, not on this platform. Just think ahead what another year or two in time, how the world will be subdued into corrected speech and behavior because of fear of being canceled. That was a good one. Yep. There's another one. Okay. He says, nope, that one's already one I already read. Jay Carlson. Okay, here we go. Mark Carlson was saying, get the download, and then, yep, J. Mason Chase Carlson said, got it on Spotify. Thank you. Thank you very much. I thought I clicked like on that. My apologies. Oh, that was me. Now it's the show. Okay, I get it. And, yep, that was Mark. What was he saying here? Oh, he's showing up the Biden tyranny, and he's saying, get the download. Yep, thank you, Mark, very much. Out of Iowa, of course. Probo Mafia Hall of Famer. Was there any more? Yeah, here we go. Of course, these are from a while ago, though. Yeah, this was read on a previous show. I think I read this. Almost certain. I'll read this one anyway, just in case. Dear friends, this is your brother Mark. Please go and download the Freedom of Thought podcast. I recommend that you start at episode 1 and let us not sit idle at the keyboard any longer. Let's post and share news articles that are worthy. And you need to share your ideas right here, like I am tonight. Yep, I remember reading this. I know you have other contacts you trust. Invite them here too. At this location, we will rally and work together to share information, be better informed, and uphold the standard set by our fathers, and let's let freedom ring. Do you hear me? And I hear you, and I believe it. Amen. Hallelujah to that. Very much so. Yeah, and I would like more and more people to share information. Share whatever you can, and I'll talk about it on the show. I'll try to do this at least once a week, maybe more, if given the time, and there might be stretches where I'm unable to do it for a little while. Like what happened here. Just strange. I'm not sure. It's unfortunate, but that's how it goes at the end of the day. What is all this stuff? Too much stuff going on. Too many messages just popping up on me all of a sudden. Yep, 40. Okay, here we go. My mom's actually sending this update right now. Not because she's listening to the show. It just happened this way. 57-43 to acquit President Trump. Nancy Pelosi makes a person sick. She could have been an actress in a soap opera, a bad one. I wish they'd vote to impeach her, Schubert. Schubert? What do you mean, Schubert? You mean Chuck Schumer? Yep. Maybe she's just calling him a name. And the goofball Schiff. Yep, Shifty Schiff. They should go on an island together, come back in 30 years. Yep, or they're dead of old age. And yes, you meant Schumer. Schumer. Yes, Chuck Schmuck Schumer. It's Schmuck Schumer. That's the best way to describe him. It's Schmuck Schumer. Can I be honest, though? It's true. You know, it's absolutely true. It's funny. I don't know. But with that said, again, I talked about the voicemail. I talked about this. I talked about that. That should be about it. Sorry, maybe I'm dragging this a little longer. But actually, hey, you know, that's actually it's probably better to have a longer show rather than super short ones all the time. But short ones can be good also. If it's short and sweet, like it's something important. But there isn't like a ton to say, just that you want to get something out there and get a conversation started for future shows. With that said, though, hope you have a good week, good couple days, however long it is till the next episode. We'll keep up with things as best we can. And let freedom ring. God bless you, and talk to you next time.